Hey there everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm that Scottish Nerd, and if you enjoy my videos then be sure to subscribe down below, as I will have more gaming content coming in the future. In today's video we're having a look at Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Season 1 and the abysmal lack of content rather than launch of content, because ultimately Season 1 has provided very little content in the way of 6v6 maps and overall content in general, because the 6v6 maps this time round, so far anyway, has only consisted of one new and original map. Right now you're seeing Raid, and this is from Black Ops 2, and you'll notice that if you've played Black Ops 2, this version of Raid is the exact same as Black Ops 2. Nothing has changed whatsoever, and I couldn't have been more disappointed when I came onto this map, because when I heard Raid was coming back, I was interested. I like Black Ops 2, it's my favourite Call of Duty, so of course I was going to be interested in Raid, but if we have a look at this map, it has remained the complete same since that game. I thought that there would have been, you know, a reskin or a variation of it in terms of the way that it looks at least. Sure, it can play the same and have the same layout, but it looks the exact same, and that's what I'm really not understanding, because the map was set 40 years or over 40 years in the future from Cold War. Cold War is set in 1984, Black Ops 2025. So the fact that this map has been the exact same and they couldn't be bothered to change it up or have some sort of, you know, theme that kind of suits with the 80s era that we were in Cold War, it was really disheartening. And the fact that we only have one other 66 map, which is actually new, because they say that there is 3 maps for Season 1, but we have Raid, the Pines, which was the new map, sure, I'll give that a chance, and the third map is a reskin of Nuketown to make it more festive. I think we've had plenty of Nuketown. I'm not complaining about Nuketown because it's a good map and you can get some good kills, but the fact it's just a reskin is really shocking. So if you want to come on, test out some raids, then by all means, it's very samey. We have 3 lanes. You're going to go into those lanes and be shot down immediately by snipers in ARs, so I'm going to try and flank around here and try my best to get a nice little feed by flanking around and using my 74U, I believe. I'm trying my best here to kind of maneuver myself around the map with my AK-47 or my 74U, yeah. So the 74U I'm using here, it seems to be a very good gun. I've almost maxed it out and trying to get the most out of it. Also using the napalm here, putting it right in the middle of the maps. Gonna be good since I've seen a bunch of enemies, and you see here I'm able to take a whole bunch of people out, and this guy's sitting in the corner waiting for me, because this is just how people play, apparently. After Modern Warfare, everyone loves sitting in the corner, and you'll see in the second half of this video when we go into the one new map that we got for this season, called the Pines, which is set in a shopping mall. Everyone's just sitting in corners and not actually moving around, so at least in raids people do like to move around a little, but for the most part everyone just sits on either sides of the lanes and tries to snipe your head off as soon as you try to move. This goes for when you go and spawn in as well, because for some reason in TDM and Kill Confirmed the spawns are absolutely crazy, where you can just spawn behind enemies or you'll spawn into a spawn trap and things like this. Whereas Domination, you don't have a problem, because that is the game mode that I most play, because the spawns are so favourable and you can predict them and you don't just have mindless nonsense going on. But going into the next part of the content here, we have the prestige system, and the prestige shop was finally added. So if we have a look here, you can look at the challenges for each season, and we'll get more as the seasons go on, of course. But they also added the prestige shop, where you can go and get legacy items, they're calling them. These are calling cards and prestige icons from previous games. You have Modern Warfare games in here as well for some reason, and all of these cost 1 prestige key. They do have a bunch that are classified that they will release later on in the future seasons, but we also have these mastery ones which are animated, and they cost 2 prestige keys. And you can earn these prestige keys every 50 levels, and you just get the one key, so you do have to grind quite a bit, but there's a lot of selection here. And my issue is that, again, it's a bunch of reused content that we've already seen before, we've already earned in previous games, and I would much rather have a load of new stuff that we can choose between. I will probably be going through all of the Black Ops 2 stuff since I got Master Prestige in that game, and I would love to have all of the icons for that, but we also have an overview here showing your progression throughout the Prestige system. And at least we did finally implement it, since it wasn't at the start of Season 1, it came a couple of days later. But it's there, and it is some content, but as I say, it's all recycled stuff and it's nothing actually brand new. Now you see here, this is the new map, The Pines. It's set in New Jersey, and it's a shopping mall, and we have a bunch of alleyways and kind of back doors in between each of the stores here, and it allows for a bunch of good flanking routes, as I was mentioning. That's a great way for me to play the game because I love my shotguns and submachine guns, so I can kind of maneuver myself around the map. And this is again a map which, if you can control the main middle portion of it, then you're going to be able to lock it down and get a whole bunch of kills. But if you don't watch your back and you have people maneuvering in behind you, you're going to have an issue. So like here, I tried to jump up and get a guy, but someone was already coming up the escalator. This portion of the map here, overlooking the escalator, is the one that you're going to want to hold out for the most part, because you can control so much of the flow of the map, watching over those escalators as well as holding off this door and elevator section. And yeah, this is just not a great map in my opinion, because it's got this weird diagonal slant to it, so you feel like you're always running at an angle to try and get to an enemy, and oftentimes the enemies will be sitting around in corners or just trying to camp doorways and sightlines. So it makes it very frustrating to try and play against people that are just sitting around, when my personal playstyle is always rushing, and trying to push up into their spawns or get up into their flank and around their sightlines where they're not going to be picking you off. Overall, in future, I would like to see a lot more content coming to the game which is actually original. In the past, with the older Call of Duty games, you know, Black Ops and Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare games, when we got DLC packs, we used to get 3 brand new maps, and when we got into the later games, we would get 1 remake of a map. For example, in Black Ops 2, when we had one of the DLC packs, we actually got a remake of Firing Range, which was in Black Ops 1. And that remake of a map was really good because we actually got a complete reskin of everything. And in Black Ops 1 it was a firing range, but in Black Ops 2 they changed it up and it wasn't a firing range anymore, it was actually a movie set. So I would have loved to have seen something like that with Raid, so that it was a little bit of a more freshened up feel to it and we weren't just playing Raid again. It felt a little bit different if they had done that, so hopefully they give us a little bit of a more original map in the future. And while the supermarket here, or the shopping mall, was reasonable, it is very clean, and I think in the other games, like especially the Modern Warfare games, when we get maps like this, it's always dirtied up, there's explosions that have gone off, things like that. Whereas this map, there's just some terrorists that have, you know, put something down, so you have to go and stop them, and that was the little intro at the start here, because we're the good guys trying to stop them. But certainly if we can get some better maps in the future with more originality, or even if we do get the remake maps, maybe if we give them a little bit of a reskin, that would be a great way moving forward to really freshen up this game, because at the moment it feels a lot like Modern Warfare, the 2019 version anyway, just with a longer time to kill, and that can be a little annoying because if you don't get all of your shots on and the enemy escapes, then you've missed out on that kill. But everything else is pretty solid. With the gunsmith, you have a lot of variety to choose what guns you want and how to build it, as well as the perk options. So you see here, I was able to get a flank and get in and destroy that sentry gun, but I was unfortunately taken out. And I did pick up a couple of nice kill feeds throughout this game, so it wasn't all bad. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below, as I will be looking to make more videos like this in the future. And as we're coming to the end of this video, you will see that I actually get the play of the game on a nice little 3-kill streak that I got earlier on. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, be sure to let me know in the comments as well. I'll leave you with the rest of this content.
Mission complete. Clean up crews, ensure there are no survivors.
TACOM, mission area is secure. Dispatch cleanup crew. Fuck you!